Last question. This actually came from the comments from my member community as well, from RSDEDS. He asked, how does it feel about Scott Adkins taking over the Undisputed franchise, although Scott was originally playing the villain in the movie that starred you?
Oh, that's a good question. Whoever, what's his name?
It's initials.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of letters.
That's a good question. Now, Scott is like a little brother to me, so I love the man, and we got some other stuff coming up. But what it is, as you might have spied, there is a certain attitude in this business. There's a certain thing to where, there's a slight, in my opinion, there's a slight racial element to that you might have spied. He was the villain in that, and when we talked about a third movie, I was to find out the agenda of the movie maker, and I don't look for a racial component in anything, right? So for me to say this means I really have reason to understand why they did it this way, and it was clear to me that of that old thing of they felt that to keep it, to go on with the franchise with someone who was white might yield them a bigger audience. Though that second movie was probably the most successful of the whole bunch.
Yeah, they're saying, that Scott Adkins kind of really took over in the second movie. Like, he really kind of stole the show. Mm-hmm. Do you agree?
No, he was given the show.
Right, but I'm saying he really excelled in that role.
Oh, yeah, quite on purpose. Like, here's something I've never even exposed about this. That role was supposed to be Dolph Lundgren.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Dolph's
myself,
kind of a little older, though.
Right. Myself and the director fought for Scott Adkins to do it. They even wanted me originally to play a martial artist that overcomes Scott by the end, but I fought to be just a boxer who has to humble himself and learn a little bit of martial arts to dominate Scott's character, to beat him. And because I thought it was better for the movie's sake than just my own. And I encouraged, because I remember when I did the movie against Jean-Claude Van Damme in Universal Soldier 2, a lot of the things that my, kind of acrobatic and some of my advanced techniques was cut out of that movie. All right. And, my light was was being dimmed. And I vowed that I would never do that to someone else. So I really encouraged Scott to do his best stuff. And I'm proud of that. And so they made the decision to go on with that character. That's them. I mean, what's his is his, what's mine is mine. Never looked at it any differently. But we fought for Scott and won. And so I think, I was clear that they wanted to go that way for racial issue. I mean, really, it was quite clear. So that's what happened there. But all blessings to Scott. He had no part in that decision. He's just going to do the best he can, and I'm proud of him.
Gillian, do you have a favorite movie that Michael did? If you were to pick one movie.
It would have to be Outlaw Johnny Black.
Right, which you were involved in as well.
Yeah, I was a producer on it.
Yeah.
But I just know the amount of work he put into this film. I mean, he was the director, he wrote it, he starred in it. I was with him on set every day. I saw the amount of work he put into this film, and then I saw the outcome of it. The whole cast, it was just, and what we went through to get this movie made. I love it, and I love how it resonates with so many people. The message of forgiveness.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the early screening at your house, and then when you guys had the premiere, I went to that. And I think it's on Starz now.
It is.
Yeah. You can actually watch it for free with the Starz. You know, so it's great to see it, because it was a theatrical release, and then it was, I remember it was on, you know, streaming, you know, you could rent it and buy it, and now it's on Starz. So it really seems like a movie that's really still reacting, and people are still wanting to see it.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm very proud of. There's a number of movies that I've been behind that even in the industry, they expect it to go here and then tip off, but they just continue to do this.
Yeah.
With Black Dynamite and Blood and Bone, and now with Outlaw Johnny Black, people keep following it, and the audience tends to build, and that's a sign of a classic. And that's what I'm very proud of that, because again, there's the obstacles that we're all that we continue to face, and some of these are the old boy way that they're doing things, and they won't put money into marketing like they would another type of movie. But the cream rises to the top. People start seeing what you got, and people love the word of mouth, and that keeps you relevant. And I think as time goes on, people are going to start unpacking more and more of what that movie delivers. So, you know, I'm proud of it, and I feel the same. It's my best work, I feel. You know, there's a movie that we have coming up called Trouble Man that I think is going to make a strong mark as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so it's, you know, it's just such a blessing that we're doing what we worked hard to do and paving our own way.
Well, yeah, and you said in one of our interviews that this is the most financially lucrative movie you've ever done because you were involved in the entire process.
Yes.
You did it all independently. Now, I remember as you were filming it, it took a while. I remember seeing an early trailer of it where you were using other people's footage, you know, stuff like that to kind of get it off the ground, and it worked.
Yeah.
You got to GoFundMe at one point, you know, to kind of get the original thing off the ground, and to actually know you and be friends with you and see how long the process took to finally see it on completion and finally see it on Starz, and, you know, have it go into all these places is like, yo, like that, my man really, really did this, because I know how movies are. They can fall apart at any moment.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, Samuel Jackson was supposed to be in it. You know, so things you plan it out, but movies never go according to plan every time.
Yeah, and even with the Samuel Jackson part of it, the way I look at things very simply. He was going to come to set, but he had just had a back surgery. I consider him a friend, and I could not fathom getting him on that set for my purposes at the detriment of his health or him being in any kind of pain. So that's a very simple decision, is that, hey, maybe we can shoot this later when you're fully rehabilitated. I love the fact that you were down to do that. But I look at friendship and just integrity, like, you know, I look at that as primary. And I'm always going to live that way. There's no price tag to my honor, my word, or my beliefs. So that's yielded me some good stuff. And I don't know, I mean, what's priceless is the respect that you have in your your peers and in the industry. That's something that I think, you know, you got to have that authenticity. You got to have that. That's what's behind it all. And telling stories that, you know, I guess have something to say. That's what I'm about. I can't wait to actually be behind the scenes for good eventually. That's what I'm going for, and I
Yeah,
want
that's
the
the
new
goal.
action stars to come and let me be behind them and you know, and making the moves.
Yeah, that's my goal one day also. But here I am, still doing interviews.
Yeah. Well, you know, we
Every
still
time I try to get it, pulls you back in.
Yeah, we still got the lampshade over our head doing our thing, but it's a matter of time because you know we start getting our funding together, and you know everything keeps moving in the right direction, which is cool.